Hi guys, see, I'm back to film my Pan That Palette update. I apologize for the dark lip, but my lips are stained blue from my OCC lip tar in vain, so I had to cover it up with something even darker. So I have Too Faced Melted Liquid Lipstick in Melted Villain on, just to kind of cover it up, but I apologize because it's, in my opinion, kind of distracting. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and start with my update. There is a little bit of progress with this, not as much as I was hoping for, but it's just been kind of a busy month. And so it probably doesn't look too much different, but Virgin is gone and has been gone. Sin, there is some side pan showing now, so I think that I could probably finish this next month if I really tried. I just didn't do very well with it this month. I just was wearing a lot of other things, and I was going to try to wear this as my inner corner highlight for pretty much every look, but I just didn't really, I don't know, I just kind of went with what was easy, and sometimes it was just easier to use something else in the palette that I was using. Naked is gone as last time. Sidecar, there's a little bit more side pan showing, not a whole lot more, but I did use it a couple times. Buck, there's a little bit more pan showing, and the whole eyeshadow is starting to dip down a little bit more. I'm trying not to use this one too much because it is the last matte shadow in this palette, so I'm not using it a lot. Half Baked, as you can see, there is now pan showing. I accidentally gouged it with the end of the brush trying to put the brush back in the slot. It wasn't showing pan yet, but I just kind of used it a couple times and just to kind of clean it up because it was a little bit messy, and ended up hitting pan on it, so that's nice. It wasn't that far till pan anyways, so it's pretty thin. Smog I've been using pretty much every time I use Half Baked, so this should probably hit pan next, I think. Dark Horse, there's more pan showing, but I didn't really use this much like in a look or anything. I mostly just used this to set eyeliner with, so the pan's a little bit bigger, but it's nothing super drastic. Toasted and Hustle, I used both of these this month, but not really a lot. I feel like these I will probably use more towards fall. I feel like I always use these two a lot in the fall, but otherwise not really a whole lot. Creep I did use to set my liner quite a bit this month. Pretty much every time I wore Black Velvet I used this to set the liner. So, and then Gunmetal I did use a couple times, but I was just playing around with some looks. I didn't really do anything super drastic, although I can tell it is starting to go down a little bit, so there has been some progress with that. So that's where I'm at. I'm not super happy with my progress. I'm glad to have hit pan on another shadow, but I really wanted to finish another one this month. But I think maybe this is kind of okay because at least I hit pan on another shadow, so that gives me, you know, I feel like every time you hit pan on a shadow, it's a good start towards finishing that shadow, because the pan really starts to grow pretty quickly. So I feel like even though I didn't finish anything, I did get a good start on some of these other shades, so that's good. I'm hoping next month, though, I really do want to finish Sin. I just gotta get better about using it, but I'm thinking either Sin or Sidecar I'd like to finish, and then I would like to hit pan on Smog. I'd like to get a noticeable dip going down here in either Creep or Gunmetal, but I'm gonna have to use them a little bit more. I just haven't been using them much, so I'm gonna have to just find a way to use them more. But I would like to get a noticeable dip going in one of these two, and then, like I said, finish another shadow and then have pan showing on Smog. So that's kind of really my goals right now. If I could get the amount of pan to grow on Dark Horse and Half Baked, that would be nice, but I'm not going to push it too much because there's just a lot of stuff to use in the palette as it is. So that's where this is at. Of course, we have talked about the MAC Fabulousness Warm Eyes palette because that is in here as well. I showed this in my Project Pan video, but Glamour Light is gone, so I did finish a shadow this month. It just wasn't in my Naked palette like I was kind of hoping for. So I'm glad that that's done. It's an extra shadow out of the way, but otherwise this really hasn't changed too much. Retrospect does have some more pan showing because I did use it a handful of times, and I concentrated around the pan, so there is more pan showing. It's just not a ton. Honesty I did use a couple times this month too, so that's a little bit of progress. It is dipping down maybe a little bit further than last time. I feel like it's not It's not quite close to hitting pan, but it's getting there. It's probably getting to about halfway. So that's actually pretty good. And then Sketch and Cognac, I didn't really use those at all either, so that is where that is at. And I don't really have any goals for this month. I guess I'd like to see a little bit more pan showing on Retrospec, and if I could get this to Honesty to hit pan, that would be great. But if not, I'm not going to make a big deal about it, because the Naked palette is kind of my #1 focus with this. So that's nice, but we'll just kind of see where it goes. I am going to talk about the Anastasia Catwalk palette too just for a minute, because this is also this is probably going to be my pan that palette for next year. So there's nothing significant with this, but I am thinking that maybe I'll pair Honesty with this kind of bronzy shade in this palette, and that'll help me get through Honesty a little quicker. But this having a little bit more, I don't know, it's got some nice like kind of gold shades and stuff that would pair nicely with Honesty. Maybe I'll be able to get through that one a little more. So, but this doesn't have anything significant with like dips or anything like that. So, and that's just because I didn't really use it this last month. I just maybe kind of swatched the colors and played around with them, but I didn't really use them. So that is at where I'm at for this month. Like I said, I'm hoping for a little bit better progress next month, but I still think I'm doing okay. The shadows, they kind of go in order, I think, of how I'm gonna probably use them. Just because Half Baked and Smog are two colors I use a lot during the summer. They're more gold and bronzy. Like I said, Toasted and Hustle, they're a little more mauvey and purpley, so I use those a little bit more during fall. And Gunmetal being kind of that silvery gray, I will use it mostly during the winter time. So as much as I kind of want to say it, I think it is kind of going to go in the order that the palette goes in, but at least I'll get through the shadows. So that is it for my update. And I will see you guys next time, I guess. Bye.